New today, why a Wisconsin lawmaker is now filing a lawsuit to sequester thousands of military absentee ballots. Also, world leaders are meeting for the 2020 United Nations Climate Change Conference in Egypt, but two of the world's biggest polluters are skipping out. This is News 3 Now at noon. Good afternoon, I'm Mark Kane, and new at noon, a Wisconsin lawmaker, a veterans group, and other voters have filed a lawsuit to sequester absentee and mail-in military ballots. The lawsuit comes after a now former elections official in Milwaukee County was charged with fraudulently requesting military ballots using fake names. Kimberly Zapata is now facing felony misconduct and voter fraud charges. The lawsuit seeks a temporary injunction requiring elections officials to set aside military ballots to verify their authenticity. In Wisconsin, military voters are not required to register to vote, meaning they don't need to provide a photo ID to request absentee ballots. The Wisconsin Elections Commission says military ballots, on average, represent about 0.07% of all absentee ballots. As of last week, more than 2,700 military ballots had been requested. We're getting ahead of misinformation on Election Day by breaking down the process of ballot counting. You might remember talk of ballot dumping back in 2020, specifically out of Milwaukee. This led to numerous claims of voter fraud and other misinformation. Votes started coming in between 2 and 4 a.m., most of them for Democrats, sparking claims of voter fraud. State law requires cities to wait until Election Day when polls open to count ballots, including absentees. As we know, statistically, early and absentee voters tend to vote Democratic. So the question many had in 2020 and many may have this year, why were these ballots coming in so late? In reality, the process takes time.
I think that has led to some misunderstandings, misconceptions, conspiracy theories, unfortunately, about what's really going on. But what's really going on is ballots are being counted and ballots take a while.
Here's the good news. This election is going to look a little different, at least in the city of Milwaukee. Officials are saying they're going to be able to count the mail and absentee votes earlier in the evening. Across the nation, candidates for hundreds of local, state, and federal offices are out today making one final push for votes. Every seat in the House is up for grabs, along with 35 Senate seats and 36 governorships. Experts say this year's election could bring a near-record turnout of 120 million voters nationwide. With so many tight races, analysts are asking voters to remain patient as votes are counted.
We have very complex ballots in the United States, multiple pages, dozens of races. Let them do their jobs. It might take a few days.
Election officials are focused on security, saying safety is a primary concern at polling places across the country. This comes after reports in several states of voter intimidation. News 3 has everything you need to know about Election Day. Our live coverage starts tomorrow on News 3 Now this morning and will run through tomorrow night as votes are being counted. You can also find more information on where to vote and what to bring with you to the polls on channel3000.com. Just click on the banner at the top of the homepage. Let's head to the Weather Center now. Meteorologist Chris Reese, I'll look at your certified most accurate forecast. Weather should not be an issue tomorrow.
Weather will not be an issue tomorrow. Weather pretty good for us, at least starting off this week, Mark. And tomorrow is going to be even warmer by about 10 degrees as we move into the afternoon. That being said, this is what it's like outside right now. Lone Rock has made it to 50. No surprise there. 46 for Janesville right now, 47 in Boscobel. Right here in Madison, we are sitting at 45. Winds out of the northwest at 7 miles per hour. Creates a small wind chill for you at 41. Still, it's in the 40s, and it's a sunny 40, so it does not feel all that bad. 43 in Lake Mills right now. Sauk City at 43, 43 in Arena, 43 in Belleville as well. So we start to look ahead. I expect temperatures topping out at 47, but it's going to be a quick drop into the upper 30s as that sun does begin to set. I also want to show you this. This is the upper air weather pattern. We're going to see a surge of some warmth that comes our week. It could set record highs, but we're also talking cold and snow in the forecast. I have all the breakdowns coming up.
It's that time of year.
Yes, it is.
Big swings. All right, Chris, we'll see you in a few minutes. Madison police have said a homicide that took place on the city's northeast side this summer was justified. On June 12th, officers were dispatched to the 5600 block of Black Onyx Drive around 5:30 in the morning for reports of a disturbance. Police discovered a 23-year-old man with chest wounds who was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. The person of interest was taken into custody that same day. Police are saying the victim and the person of interest were in a domestic relationship. The UN's Climate Change Summit kicked off in Egypt yesterday with an opening ceremony. Over 100 of the world's leaders have descended on Egypt for the COP27, where they'll discuss the climate crisis and share stories of its consequences on their respective countries. With this year's summit comes after Pakistan's devastating floods, Europe's historic heat waves, and half of the U.S. suffering through a drought.
We are on a highway to climate hell, with our foot still on the accelerator.
Two of the world's biggest polluters, India and China, are not attending the summit, opting instead to send minor delegations. President Joe Biden will head to Egypt later this week after the midterm elections. There's more to come on News 3 Now at noon. Last week, thousands of Twitter employees were laid off, but now many of them are being asked to come back. Details coming up in the Money Watch report.
Let the design team at Wanakee Furniture ETC help you find your inspiration and transform your room. Every style, every budget, our creativity, passion, and expertise will help you design your dream space.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
I see your hard work, everything you do to try to make it, but people continue to be left behind. I'm running for Senate to put more money in your pocket. Ron Johnson's had 12 years to make things better. But costs are still rising, and all he's managed to do is write a tax cut for himself. I believe better is possible. I believe hard work can pay off, and I'll never stop fighting until it does. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
Papa Murphy's presents How to Change the Way You Pizza. Step 1, grab a delicious Papa Murphy's pizza. Step 2, bake. Step 3, chow down on the deliciousness. Order the limited time Hog Heaven pizza for just $12.99 at papamurphys.com.
Americans struggling to pay their bills. Yet Mandela Barnes supports a tax increase on working families. How could he? Barnes also supported hiring an army of 87,000 new IRS agents unleashed on families just like yours. That's terrifying. Mandela Barnes, higher taxes and IRS audits for you, unpaid taxes for him. Remember that on Election Day. Wisconsin Truth Pack is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Aren't you tired of the division and the anger? I know I sure am. Our country faces enormous challenges. I promise I'll do everything I can to help make things better, and I'll always tell you the truth. What continues to give me hope are the kind and decent people I meet all over Wisconsin. People who love America and are willing to work hard to unify and heal it. Please join us. I'm Ron Johnson, I approve this message, and I'm asking for your vote.
Rest comfortably with brands you can trust at Wanakee Furniture ETC. Create a unique and stylish room with made-in-the-USA products from companies like Smith Brothers of Bern. Select from a wide variety of sofas at a great price.
Bring quality home at Wanakee Furniture ETC.
Just days after Twitter began mass layoffs, the Wall Street Journal reports Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is also planning large-scale layoffs as soon as this week. The layoffs could affect thousands of jobs and would be the first large-scale reduction in the company's 18-year history. A company spokesman refused to comment on the report, but pointed to founder Mark Zuckerberg's recent comments that some teams will grow, while others would either stay flat or shrink in the next year. Back to Twitter. According to Bloomberg, the social media giant is now asking some of the 3,700 workers it just laid off to come back. The report indicates they were either fired by mistake or the company needs their expertise to build some new features. Also yesterday, owner Elon Musk tweeted that the platform will permanently suspend any accounts that impersonate another unless it clearly specifies it is a parody. It comes as multiple parody accounts of him popped up after he took over the reins at Twitter. And if you're thinking about buying the new iPhone 14 Pro or Pro Max for the holidays, you could be waiting longer than usual to get it. Apple says a COVID-19 outbreak at a factory in China has impacted production, which will lead to lower shipments than anticipated. The company says it is working to return to normal production levels at the facility while protecting the safety of every worker. That's your CBS News Money Watch report. For more, log on to cbsmoneywatch.com. In Washington, I'm Serena Marshall.
Check Wall Street afternoon hour. The Dow Industrial's up 220 points. The NASDAQ, though, down about 10.5, and the S&P 500 up 8. Our call for action volunteers are in the building taking your consumer complaints and taking action on your behalf. You're taking a live look at the Call for Action studio. Volunteers are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And call for action right now, 608-270-2833, or submit a claim anytime at channel3000.com/call for action. Up next, Pam has today's egg prices, and Chris has our latest forecast. And then later on Live at 4, Will Loper will tell us what's new at the box office. We'll find out what people are watching today at 4.
Radical Tim Michaels is extremely divisive.
I don't care who I offend.
And at his company, the culture comes from the top. Multiple court filings say women were sexually assaulted, harassed, and pressured to have sex with their bosses.
If she refused demands for sex, she would be blackballed from working on a pipeline job.
Higher-ups dismissed the women as liars and fired those who spoke out.
I don't care who I offend.
That's how Tim Michaels runs his company. Don't let him run our state.
They're here. Okay. There's no way we're paying for all those medical bills.
Should we talk about a settlement?
How about we cut the car payments down?
We might want to think about this.
Look, just get them to sign. This offer's more than fair.
Sir, it's the law offices of Hupy and Abraham.
Tell them you mean business. Call 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham.
You can handle this one.
Experience does count. When you're shopping for new furniture, a mattress set, or flooring, come to the experts at McGann Furniture and Flooring in Baraboo. Our experienced staff is well-trained in home decorating and will answer all your questions so you can buy with confidence. You'll find big city selection and an enjoyable shopping experience. And remember, we don't raise prices only to lower them later for a sale. Come see the difference experience can make at McGann Furniture and Flooring, downtown Baraboo.
For Clinton Anderson, our community is his top priority. He's delivered for middle-class families on the Beloit City Council, and he'll keep fighting to lower costs for us in the Assembly. Jeff Klett's priorities are all wrong. He supports dismantling our public schools, wants to slash community services to give tax breaks to his billionaire backers, and he'll vote with extreme Republicans to enforce Wisconsin's abortion ban, which could send doctors to prison. We can't afford Jeff Klett.
I want all of y'all to come see me at the Jennifer Hudson Show. I feel like I got a house full of guests every day. From the neighborhood, we've got Beth Bears, plus the very handsome Aldous Hodge.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
Tomorrow's Election Day, and if you haven't voted yet, we're here to help.
Our expert breaks down the races, and I'll be live with tips to ensure a smooth trip to the polls.
Plus, we're getting you out the door for your Election Day forecast and tracking a pattern change. It's tomorrow morning from 4:30 to 7.
The Farm Report is sponsored by Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
And let's check in now with Pam Yankee from the Midwest Farm Report as we start another week.
Another week with soggy fields, that's for sure. So a lot of folks are going to be on the sidelines for a little while. I was getting rainfall reports anywhere from inch to 2.5 inches and then some, with a lot of wind in a lot of my farm country area. So a little bit on the sidelines so far this week. Boy, I'll tell you what, Friday I was not along with you, or I was with you, and then I headed over to Milwaukee for the Wisconsin Honey Producers Association annual business meeting that was going on. Good turnout. And boy, I'll tell you, just about the time you think that you know what stories you're going to pick up, something new comes your way. And that's what happened with me on Friday. I was talking with Jim Hillmeyer from Bancroft. He is a honey producer himself, and he said they are trying to gauge and survey bee producers across the state, and they're encountering with bears. Our Wisconsin bear population has been very, very healthy for a long time, and it continues to grow. Now bears are found from the north to the south in Wisconsin and every place in between. And as you can imagine, they like honey. So the honey producers are trying to get a handle on the financial losses caused when a bear gets into a bee yard. He said they launched an online survey of producers. 11 producers filled out the survey. They just really began gathering the information to the tune of $30,000 in losses to bear damage in bee yards. If you are one of the honey producers and has encountered bears and lost your hives, go to wihoney.org and submit some of your information and pictures. I did not see that story coming, that is for sure. Didn't see the butter story coming either today. Barrel cheese is up a penny at $1.98.5. 40-pound block cheese up 2 today at $2.03. But butter, that's starting off red hot this beginning of this work week, up 9 3/4 cents, back to $2.87 a pound. So like I said, Farm Babe getting all kinds of surprises. Butter today and bear damage in bee yards on Friday. Did not.
No.
$30,000 on 11 reports. Wow.
Not the average bear, I guess.
I guess not. They are. They are going through fence. They're going through everything to get to their bees.
All right. It's always something. Hey, Pam, here's Chris now with the latest forecast.
Yeah, we're talking about 3 things you need to know as you head out for the rest of today, the rest of this week. One is that we have sunshine, at least starting off this week. We'll see more sun tomorrow, too, but you'll see more cloud cover tomorrow than what you see out there today. We then turn to a mild run at 70 by the middle of the week. I mean, this is record warmth if we actually do make it towards 70. And then winter arrives by the weekend. So my big message is we get every season this week, folks. Here's what we're looking at right now. Temperatures are generally into the mid-40s. Lone Rock has made it towards 50, a little bit cooler towards the north and west. Viroqua still at 40. It is 39 in Decorah, Iowa right now. So that's one spot still staying at least a little bit cooler for us. Stoughton, you're at 45. Same for Belleville. Middleton is at 47 at this point. But everywhere that you see into those low and mid-40s, we'll make it into the mid-40s today. A couple spots into the upper 40s. And as I said this morning, I wouldn't be surprised if someone made it to 50, and we know that Lone Rock has already done so. Winds are out of the north and west at 7, and we're going to keep that northwesterly flow around at least today. But we do begin to see a little bit of a shift in the wind direction. The reason for that, you're probably already seeing at least peaks of it. We have this system out towards the west. This is going to be a big deal weather maker for the middle portion of the country as we start to go through the rest of this week. Perhaps the first major winter storm over the high plains is going to be a result of this system as well. So I want to show you that. This is the pattern ahead with Future Track. Rain breaks out to our north and west late Tuesday night, mainly into Wednesday. That being said, I cannot rule out a stray shower around here tomorrow. But my expectation, the bulk of the rain stays to the north and west. Wednesday into Thursday, that's where a lot of that rain is going to be, which is honestly a good thing. They've had a pretty substantial drought to our north and west. Now watch the colder air start to work its way into the picture. And by Friday afternoon, we're talking widespread snow showers and flurries, northwestern Wisconsin and to parts of Minnesota. And I cannot rule out flurries for us Friday and into Saturday. So that'll be something that I definitely keep an eye on. I'm not talking about a widespread deal, but nonetheless, that chance will be there. It's all of a part of a pattern that is really opening up the door to some colder air across the lower 48. Everyone into the middle part of November has a decent chance at being colder than normal, except for, well, Miami. So that being said, let's at least take you through the next couple of hours here. 47 for your high this afternoon. The cloud cover hangs back until we get towards those overnight hours. Even then, we're still partly cloudy tonight. You'll see some of the stars. Overnight lows go down towards 32. This is tomorrow. We're still dry. A little bit more cloud cover trying to filter in. 46 by 10 o'clock, and then we will top out into the 50s. So enjoy the rest of this afternoon and evening with the sunshine that's out there. Mostly clear skies overnight tonight, and then a little bit more cloud cover for tomorrow. Still dry, though. Temperatures top out right around 55 or so. So if you're concerned about weather as you head out to the polls tomorrow, there's nothing weather-wise to be concerned about. 65 on Wednesday, 70 on Thursday. Then we'll see the showers and thunderstorms. And you see what happens after that. We go 70 to 33 real quick.
Welcome to Wisconsin.
Yeah, a little bit more than the state trooper this time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Chris, thank you. Up next, Howard is in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen now making a side dish that's quick and easy.
Okay, you've got your main course, you made a salad, and you've just realized you forgot your side dish. No worries, because we've got an easy skillet go-along that's on the table in about 20 minutes. Not only is it quick, it's so good, it might win an award for the best supporting side dish. In a skillet, we begin by sauteing some chopped onion in a bit of oil until it's tender. To that, we add some uncooked white rice and saute it until it's golden. We add some chicken broth and let that simmer for about 15 minutes or until it's tender. And now for the part that gives this dish its big, bold flavor. We add in a can of black beans that we've drained, a generous amount of corn, some fresh salsa, cilantro, and a bit of ground cumin. 5 more minutes is all it takes for the flavors to blend together. Then it's ready to serve. Maybe garnish it with a bit more cilantro, and it's a party of flavor in every bite. Whether you serve this with roasted chicken, a burger, or on Taco Tuesdays, you can't go wrong. To get the recipe for our Fiesta Rice Skillet, all you have to do is check out our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a fun and festive way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Makes you want to dance, doesn't it?
At noon, Lisa Briggs from the Roost Company is here answering your plant and garden questions. The number to call is 608-270-9933. We'll get to your calls right after this.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Did you know Tim Michaels pledged to rig future elections?
Republicans will never lose another election in Wisconsin after I'm elected governor.
He'll try to overthrow the will of the people. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
What does your retirement future look like? With a well-built retirement, your future can look bright. Your financial home secure. Retirements are built here every day. Call now and start building yours.
I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
All units, all units. Reports of an abortion at Central Hospital. Officers needed to detain doctor.
If Ron Johnson has his way, he wouldn't just ban abortions. Doctors could go to jail for it. And Johnson's tried for over a decade. He even co-sponsored a bill with no exceptions for rape, incest, or the life of the woman. And said if women don't like an abortion ban, they can just move. But it's Ron Johnson who doesn't belong in Wisconsin.
He pushed tax loopholes benefiting himself. Send him back, and he'll make things worse. Ron Johnson would let Wisconsin ban abortion, even in cases of rape, and said if you don't like it, you can move. He voted to raise the retirement age and wants to end guaranteed spending on the Social Security you earned.
Social Security is a legal Ponzi scheme, but that's exactly what it is.
Ron Johnson, still making it harder on us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
It was Halloween. My daughter stopped at 3 homes, her girlfriend's house, her teacher's house, and the man that murdered her. He molested her, and he put her in a garbage bag. He was going to be released in 2018. Josh Call, he was not there for me at all. You want some help to find out what's going on, and he doesn't help. He don't care about the victims. I know Eric Toney does. Eric Toney helped keep that man that murdered my daughter from being released. Eric Toney's always been there for me, and that's the kind of attorney general we need.
Time is of the essence when planning for retirement. So take the time now to make sure yours is well built. Retirements are built here every day. Retirement Income Planning, LLC.
Tim Michaels' company has been sued numerous times for sexual assault and harassment. Women said they were groped and pressured to have sex with their bosses. Those who spoke out were fired. Is that the kind of divisive radical you want as governor?
Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company is here, taking your calls at 270-9933. Don't forget the 608. What do you have here?
I've just brought a collection of ferns.
Well, why not?
Because I really love them, and they have so many different shapes and even different colors.
Are they easy to grow?
Nest fern. If you have the right space, they like a little humidity, and they like an eastern window. But see, this one looks like a nest.
Oh, that's very cool.
All right, and they have all different kinds of leaves. They're really fun. I wish I could grow them, but I cannot.
Houseplants.
Yes, it's a houseplant.
All right. Yeah. Let's start with Jeanette. Go ahead with your question. Jeanette, you there?
Yes.
What's your question?
Okay, my question, thank you. My question is, I have a holiday cactus. It blossoms usually around November and through December, but it is only blossoming on one side. What is my problem?
It might not have gotten enough sun on that other side, Jeanette. So just make sure when does it spend the summer outside?
No, it's inside all year round, but I do have it in a sunny window at times.
You'll probably
and I turn it.
You'll want to turn it. Otherwise, a really good thing to do. They love being outside in the summertime. Next year, try putting it outside in the summer.
Okay.
Is there, I have heard that they should go to a dark, dormant place for some time.
They just need a room that's light during the day and dark at night, so without artificial light.
Okay. Let's go to Caroline in Fitchburg. Hi, Caroline. What's your question?
Hi. I have some fancy grasses, and I'm wondering what is the proper time to cut them back now? And how low should I cut them?
Grasses can be cut back really low. You want to leave a little bit of stubble, but some people do it in the fall, some people do it in the very early spring, but the trick is to get it cut back before the new grass starts to come up. So,
okay, I was thinking about doing it today. Is today a good day?
For it. Today is a fabulous day to be outside.
All right, have fun. Enjoy the sun. Let's see here. Joan in New Glarus. Hi, Joan. What's your question?
Hi. I have a beautiful jade plant, and I had it in a pot, and the plant got so top-heavy, it fell over. And I see it a very big root system. How should I plant it?
Well, it's not the best time to do repotting, but when you have sort of an emergency, you got to do what you got to do. But you want to make sure that if you're repotting at this time of year that you don't put it in too much bigger of a pot than it is right now. So if you've got a 6-inch pot, you could maybe go up to an 8, but you don't want to go any bigger than that. And use cactus soil. That will help.
Okay. Chris in Grand Marsh. Hi, Chris. What's your question?
Yeah. Is it too late to cut back hibiscus?
So are you talking about tropical hibiscus that you're going to have in the house, or the ones that grow outside?
Outside.
Outside.
Yeah, you can go ahead and cut it back now. That'll be fine.
Okay. I think we might have time for one more. Rita in Madison. Hi, Rita.
Hi.
What's your question?
I have a Christmas cactus that last year it was in bloom. It was just beautiful. I want to know now, it's in buds. What can I do to take care of it so it blooms again?
The trick with Christmas cactus is to put them in a room that is not used at night so that they have a really strong day and night cycle. So put it in a guest room or something like that where it's going to get a ton of sun during the day, but then it's dark at night, and then once the flowers start to open, you can bring it into a space where you can enjoy it.
All right, we're out of time. You know, if we had $1
for every Christmas cactus question this time of year.
If you're on the line, stay there. We'll talk to you off the air. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for calling in. Here's Chris with one final check of the forecast.
Yeah, look for more sunshine for the rest of today. Still topping out into the upper 40s. Tomorrow we are just a little bit warmer, though. That's where I'm going to see highs into the mid-50s. You'll also see just a wee bit more cloud cover. 65 on Wednesday and 70 on Thursday. Your high on 45 or your high of 45 on Friday happens at midnight. We'll be into the mid-30s by 5 in the afternoon.
All right, big change coming. Enjoy it while we can. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you back here at 4 o'clock. In the meantime, have a great afternoon.